So that's the eyeshadow story.
It's my favorite time of year where love feels more dear. And the meaning is clear. The meaning is clear. Magic is here.
Hello my friends, welcome to Vlogmas day 5. I thought today it would be fun to do a video of my makeup routine, including my favorite products. I did a video like this, I think last year and maybe even the year before, but I'm always kind of changing up the products I'm using. I'm refining it. Since I've been doing some like get ready with me videos, they haven't been. It's more like me doing my makeup as I'm talking about something like on TikTok or on Instagram. A lot of people ask me about like products I use or to do a makeup tutorial. So what better day to do it than today? It's December 4th, which means it is release day for my song Cruise Control. And I'm wearing this cute blazer dress and I'm about to go to dinner with my best friend Liz, a little celebratory dinner. Let me show you this dress. It has a little like cut right here. It's kind of short in the back. Okay, so let us begin. I think other people don't do this, but for me, I always like to put on my lipstick first when I'm getting ready. So for some reason I can't find this one right now, but I use a shade called Wedding Bells by Charlotte Tilbury very often. However, another shade I really like, I did not know it was called this. It's called Sugar Buns by the brand Bite. I usually just do a little lipstick and then I love a good glossy gloss. This is Fenty Beauty. And then eyebrows are such a freaking thing. I'll always start with my lips and my brows. In fact, if I'm gonna leave the house and I'm not wearing makeup, I'm like, I have to just do my brows, my lips really quickly. For some reason, my brows, if I don't fill them in, it looks like they're missing parts. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills. I have always only ever used that brand of brow product. I just lightly fill in. This color is Auburn, which I changed it to after I dyed my hair reddish. I used ash blonde when I had blonde highlights this summer. And then I also used soft brown. But I'm just using Auburn all throughout the eyebrow. And I'm just doing these light little flicks just to get it all in. And something that a brow waxer once told me is to make sure that you actually bring it down on the side, even though it might kind of look crazy, but it actually looks natural and it brings the framing of your face together. So just make sure you get all of that in there. So a few different things for the face. I usually like to put on a moisturizer first. This is just a really random moisturizer. It's not even worth telling you what it is. There's another one I love called Honey Halo, but I think I just ran out. Honey Halo by the Farmer's Pharmacy, something like that. So I'll just put on a little bit of moisture, but that's just because I have a very, very dry face. And then the foundation that I use, and a lot of this is a huge update probably from my last makeup tutorial, is on the products I use that are super clean beauty. So I got really into figuring out what is clean beauty and what isn't, using the Yuka app at the beginning of this year. And I threw out a lot of my old stuff because I just want to make sure that if I'm being super conscious of what I'm putting in my body, I want to be conscious of what I'm putting on my body. My list of makeup products is not perfect by any means, but I'm definitely super, super, super mindful. And any way that you can cut back on using toxic products and using the Yuka app to scan the barcode and just see what's in it, the better. So it's literally whatever. I'm just literally putting it all over my face, okay? This is the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation and I use the shade SF 2.5 Molokai, M-O-L-O-K-A-I. Put it all over my face, whatever. I just blend in literally without any extra technique. This is a Sephora brush 64. I'm just gonna blend it in. Make sure it's all blended in around my neck. Ta-da! Then I go in with a concealer, and something about me is that I actually use a pretty light concealer just because I really think it brightens things and I think you can blend. No one's ever been you look like a raccoon. Even though at first when I put it on, you guys might be like, whoa, she's going for a really light shade. So this is also an Ilia concealer, True Skin Serum Concealer. So it goes right along with the foundation. And this is SC 0.25, the other one was 2.5 in color Mallow, I guess marshmallow, mallow, what the heck. So I'm just gonna go in and put some right here. Do you guys think it looks really, really light? And then I always put some in between my eyebrows, and then I'll kind of put some in and around my nose. You guys are gonna be like, what the heck? But more often than not, and just because I think it works so well, I take my fingers and I rub it in. People have commented on this when they've seen videos of me doing my makeup and they're like, oh my god, the way she rubs in her concealer. I'm like, well, what's the problem? I don't get it. Why is that bad? It still looks good. Whatever. Okay, so I'm literally rubbing it in with my fingers. I don't think you need a concealer brush. What? It's rubbed in now. If I'm going extra effort, I like to put some, especially because it's so light, right underneath my brow. This gives it like a highlighter effect. I'm gonna keep my concealer close by because this is like the one thing I continue to touch up. Moving on, I became a powder girl this year. I wasn't one before, but what I will say about this concealer, I love it because it's natural, right? So it's organic, or I don't even know if that's the right word, but it's clean beauty. As good as it looks, what I will say is that sometimes if I'm wearing mascara on the bottom lashes, which I obviously almost always do, it's like, why is the word humid coming to mind? It's like there's too much moisture, and so I'll see, like, it's almost like my makeup gets smeared. So I've just been using this powder. I don't even know what brand this is. One Size Beauty translucent powder. I just found these little powder things on Amazon. I'm just gonna go in and whatever, call it a day. I just do it underneath the eyes. I didn't even like know powder was a makeup thing before. I don't know if that sounds crazy, but like I literally never ever used powder until I was trying to figure out why I was smearing all the time, and I realized it could probably be a setting issue. Next up, let's move to the eyes. I'll really talk about like my miracle products, like the ones I really love, and especially ever since I dyed my hair reddish. I don't know how much this light is showing it, but it's definitely reddish. I love Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. It's like this little pot of cream eyeshadow. This shade is called Walk of No Shame, and as you guys will see, it's a very like reddish golden color, which I think just really does wonders for my hair. But they have it in so many different shades. Like I have this other old one. Look how old this is. You can even see what the bottom says. A golden, one's redder. And they have like really light shades too. So you could do one as like an inner eye light shade. Anyways, once again, I'm doing this with my finger. I'm very careful to try to not get it on my lashes because I have lash extensions. My lash gals are always like, can you clean your eyelashes? They're covered in stuff. A lot of us just use your finger, you're fine. Okay, oops. And then my favorite eyeshadow palette ever is Naked by Urban Decay, and this one is called Heat, which is also really warm shades, which I think once again do total wonders for my new color scheme that's going on. So these are the colors, warm tones, tutorial time. So I like to take the small side of a brush. This could be literally any brush, and first start with a little bit of white energy. And I'm first gonna touch up what I was doing up here with my concealer, just because I got other eyeshadow. I might have to go back in with concealer because that was a cream shadow, so it's kind of like harder to cover up. But just put a little bit up here. And then I'll start with going into my inner corner, and I'll just do a little bit. It's just the smallest bit of white. And it's not even like a very pigmented white, it's just a lighter shade. Okay, then I'm gonna use the color Scorched, so it's kind of a darker color for sure. And I'm gonna do the thing where we wing it in. This is with a bigger brush-ish. Wing it in on the crease. So just look at the difference between my eyes. Do you see how big of a difference that made? Wing it in at the crease. And then if I wanted to go super dramatic, which maybe I will, like we've got cruise control for that baby, take an even darker color, one of these really dark ones, and I will put it just at the very edge, just a whittle. Then I love doing things with my under eyes. So using the little brush again, even though I just use it for white, I'm gonna use the same color, Scorched, and maybe a combo with the Dirty Talk right here. They're just like lighter colors, or in the middle, and just go right under my lash line on both sides. Lots of pigment. So that's the eyeshadow story. Bronzer. My favorite bronzer of all time is Glow Wish by Huda Beauty. So, fishy face in the crease, cheekbones baby, cheekbones around my jaw. And then as far as contouring goes, I love, and I do this with my finger too, to just take a little and put it on both sides of my nose, so like right here. And I always want to make sure I blend it in enough. Sometimes I think I do a better job than other times, just on both sides of my nose, because it makes your nose look a little bit more narrow. Absolutely stunning. I love using just a clear brow gel. This one's from Boom Boom Brow Bar, which is the place in the city I get my eyes waxed. It's just clear, but sometimes it looks like my brows are kind of being unruly. Just a little. Let's move to blush. Now there's a few different blushes I like to use, but lately I've really been loving Charlotte Tilbury. I've had this forever. You can even see what the back says. I think it's Cheek to Cheek. I just take another brush. This is another random Sephora brush that's like angled. It's nice and pink, and I just do it on right here. A little trick I learned one time I got my makeup done, just up here on the cheekbone. And then something I've also seen people do is just add a little blush to like their nose. I'm like, okay. Sometimes I will also use a liquid blush. This one's from Rare Beauty, called Believe is the shade. This one's my favorite one. And then you just do a few little few little dots. Go in with your finger. It really does something to the face to just illuminate with a little extra. We are making progress indeed. Next up, I'm gonna go ahead and just do liquid liner. Charlotte Tilbury liquid liner, just in black. I don't do it all the way. I used to, but I do have dramatic lashes, so I mostly just focus on the outer corner, just to kind of bring the whole thing together. Slight little cat eye. While we're still in eyeliner front, here's something that everybody asks me about whenever I'm doing it in a video. It's called White Smoke Epic Smoke Liner from NYX. And I take this white eyeliner and I just do it on the inner corner of my eye. Just right in there. It really, really brightens the entire look. The biggest thing I aim to do if I'm doing eyes, and I'm doing eyes well, is to create the illusion that the eyes are bigger by doing it darker on the outside, moving into lighter. So remember I had like some white right here, and then obviously added dimension by putting some other color into the crease, but then it's darker on the outside, but lighter on the inside. And that really just makes the eyes pop. Ta-da! I'll go in with a brown pencil because I just think it's a good shade to go lighter on instead of doing black, but this is just a brown pencil from Ilia. So once again, natural, clean line gel liner. The color is Dusk. I especially want to do clean for this because I'm literally going into my waterline just on the bottom. Okay, I just want you to see the difference between my two eyes. Word. Why do I keep saying word? I feel like you don't realize the crazy things you say until you start to film yourself. Okay, looking good. Okay, so now I'm ready for my bottom lashes for mascara. I love Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk Push-Up Lashes in color Super Black. I really like this because I don't do mascara on my top lashes since I have lash extensions. So I need like a really thin little brush that can really be like detail oriented. So I'm just gonna go in and do a little. Okay, the look is really coming together. I need to let my mascara dry for a second and then I will show you what I do for setting spray. I will take you in the other room. Iconic Linden is the brand and it is a Prep Set Glow spray in the color Glow. So it has all of this glitter. Shake it up so it's all glitter. And then I always make sure it doesn't like get my hair and stuff. It's a setting spray, but it also gives you an extra glowing moment. So I really get it all over. I gotta let it dry. And this really does wonders in making sure it all sticks in addition to the powder. So I'll show you the final product when this is dry. Okay, ta-da, we are all done. It was a 20-minute makeup look. You saw it only took literally that long and probably less time. And it really only takes me like 15 minutes to get ready because honestly, it's kind of because of my lashes. I'm sure I would have had to put more effort into the top of my eyelid, but you can use this exact same structure and technique to do a really quick look yourself. So I am off to dinner and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Christmas Eve with not even one yawn. I take his hand as we skate through Wonderland.